Hey, what's up? I'm God. This is Seven Mortal Sins. Welcome. So it's come to my attention recently that I don't have a Starshard guide on my channel yet. So let's go ahead and fix that. So what are Starshards? How do you get them? Why are they so important? Well, let's start off right here. So if you go into menu, rookie guide, Starshards, and sets. This is kind of the breakdown of what all the sets are. And where and how and when you can get them. So you go into the Starshard temple, that's going to be under the daily quest menu. And then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can get Endearment, Nightshade, Mystery, and Devotee. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday is when you're going to be able to get Defender, Chaos, Hawkeye, and Slayer. So each Starshard has a set bonus that you get when you equip a certain amount of those pieces. So like for Endearment, you see here how it says set 2. That means you need to have 2 pieces of Endearment to get that set bonus, which is going to be 19% extra HP. But for Nightshade, you need to have 4 Nightshade pieces to get an extra 250 speed. So Starshards are super important, not just for the set bonuses, but just in general for the stats that they provide your character. A good amount of your character's stats are going to come from Starshards. So getting as many good ones as you can, even if they're like 3, 4, 5 star, and whatever rarity you can get. Getting them and leveling them up is very important for beefing up your characters. So, fun fact about the 2-piece Starshard sets: if you have a total of 6 pieces, like let's say you have 6 Hawkeye pieces on a character, that'll all stack up. So you'll be getting that 8% crit rate 3 times, which is like a bonus 24% crit rate. But generally speaking, you're going to go with 1 4-piece and 1 2-piece. There are some characters that can use like 2 2-pieces and another 2-piece, so like double Slayer and a Hawkeye, or like triple Hawkeye, triple Slayer, triple Defender, triple Endearment. And when I say triple, I mean 3 set bonuses. But let's get into a little bit more of the specifics. So if you go into Relics, Starshards, this will show you your inventory of Starshards. You can upgrade, sell, or equip them from here, but personally I like to go right to the character to do that. I'm going to pick a character that doesn't have Starshards on them, so I can kind of explain things a little bit better. You can go right here, Soul Mirror, Starshards. So you notice here that there are a bunch of empty slots that are numbered. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going counterclockwise here. Each slot also has an arrow, and that's going to correspond to what shards you're going to be able to put there. So like you can see I'm on number 1, so all of the ones that I can put here are going to be having that, I guess for you guys it would be pointing this way, are going to have that, and those are the only ones you're going to be able to put there. You can put any set there, but it's only going to be 1. So like if you look down here, how it says you are Starshard, this is supposed to say Nightshade, but this is a typo. For whatever reason, whenever you're in the character equip screen and you're trying to equip Starshards, the Nightshade pieces are labeled Slayer for some reason. I don't know why. Probably just an oversight on the devs. Maybe they haven't figured that out yet. But these are, in fact, Nightshade pieces. This Cougar, this panther, whatever you want to call it, this cat right here is Nightshade. So first off, right underneath the name of the shard, you're going to have your main stat. That is the primary stat that the shard has. For specific pieces, these main stats will always be the same. For example, in slot 1, it is always going to be a flat attack main stat piece, no matter what. Like, and you can see I have chaos, attack, 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 attack. Slot 1 is always going to be flat attack. Slot 3 is always going to be flat defense. Slot 5 is always going to be flat HP. And when I say flat, I mean, so like you look right here where I was showing you guys, right here, right? That main stat right there does not have a percentage on it. And some pieces will be able to get percentage, but those three, 1, 3, and 5 are always going to have flat stats and always going to be attack on slot 1, defense on slot 3, and HP on slot 5. Now I'm gonna move out of the way here so I can show you guys something else. So each Starshard also has substats, right? So you look underneath the main stat, those are going to be the substats. The substats are always going to be random. Any shard can have any substat. Even if it's in the main stat, you can still get it rolled into the substat. And these substats are going to increase in value, in statage, I guess, for every 3 levels that you put into a Starshard. One of these will be increased, or if you have a Starshard, let me see if I can find one, like this one. So this one only has 3 substats. If I rolled this or leveled it up, there's a chance it'll either increase the potency of one of the substats or give me my 4th substat. It's completely random. Okay, so, and I explained 1, 3, and 5 are all flat stats. 2, 4, and 6, slot 2, slot 4, and slot 6 are where the main stats start to change up a little bit. So for slot 2, you can also get things like flat defense, defense percent, HP, HP percent, attack, attack percent, and most importantly, slot 2 is the only Starshard slot that can have speed as your main stat. So like you look right here, this defender piece that I have right here has a base stat of speed. This is going to be one of the most important pieces for your character, making sure that they have that speed slot 2. And if you've seen any of my other videos where I say things like, oh yeah, you know, just go speed slot 2, like attack percent on slots 4 and 6, what I mean is getting these main stats, because those are going to be the easiest thing to acquire. Getting perfect main stats plus perfect substats is like one of the most difficult things to do in the game. So you always want to try to focus on getting the main stats. That is the most important thing, right? So slots 4 and 6 also have their own thing that they can get for main stats. Slot 6 can get everything that slot 2 can, but except for speed, and they trade that for, I think it's effect, hit, maybe like resistance or something. But generally speaking, you want to try to get an attack percent piece here or an HP percent piece here for the main stat. for your DPS or your supports, or things like that. And then slot 4 is where you can get pieces that have attack percent is very good, but let me see here, crit rate. This is where you can get your pieces with crit rate main stats as well as crit damage main stats. I don't know if I have one chilling out here. You're just gonna have to take my word on that. Yeah, crit rate, crit damage. Generally speaking, for your 4 slot piece, you're gonna want attack percent, crit rate, or crit damage, or HP for your supports, and then the other ones for your DPS. So if we go back here, I'm going to go back to the beginner guide here at the menu, the rookie guide on Starshards, so I can kind of explain the sets a little bit better. So, got to get some tea in me. Mouth is getting a little dry. Okay, so I'm going to rank the Starshard pieces for you guys. It's just so you have an idea of like what's good and what's not. Starting off at the top, the best, generally speaking, Starshard set is Nightshade. This one right here. Oops. So Nightshade, best one. And the reason for that is because speed is pretty much everything in this game. If you don't have enough speed, you don't get to take a turn, and then your characters die. If you don't have enough speed in PvE, you don't get to clear within the turn time limit, and you don't get all your rewards. Speed is the best stat in this game, probably next to attack, because you actually need to do damage too, but speed is the best, and that's the reason why Nightshade is the best. Then right after that, I would have to rank Endearment and Hawkeye as probably the second best Starshard sets. The reason for that is because HP is just, generally speaking, a better defensive stat, more universal than defense is, right? Because once you get your characters to a certain level of defense, anything more than that starts to make less and less of a difference. And realistically, the difference between, let's say, 1800 speed and, or sorry, not speed, defense, 1800 defense and 2000 defense is so minimal that you're better off just adding more HP. HP also determines what characters get attacked by AI. So the higher your HP, the less likelihood that your opponent's going to attack that character. They're going to go after someone else that has a lower HP. And HP is just good for survivability. So Hawkeye, I would also rate kind of on the same level as Endearment. And the reason for that is because crit rate unlocks your crit damage. Like if you stack a bunch of crit damage on your character and you only have like 15% crit rate, that's wasted stat investment. And crit rate is just a little bit more of a generic stat, like HP, that you can pretty much throw on everybody to increase their damage potential. The only reason you wouldn't put it on a character is if they were a support and not meant to do damage, or if they had some mechanic in their kit that allowed them to build up their own crit rate. Somebody like Belial needs 0 investment in crit rate because she has the ability to stack crit rate in her kit, so you would put something like Slayer on her instead of Hawkeye. And then right after those, I would rank Chaos and Slayer kind of on that level just underneath Endearment and Hawkeye. So Chaos is really good but it's also a 4-piece. And if you're going to be investing in a 4-piece, you typically want to go with Nightshade. Unless your character is so blazing fast, or they're meant to be like a bruiser, like a tank, someone that takes a hit and then hits back, that doesn't care too much about their speed, or maybe they have some kind of mechanic in their kit that gives them a ton of speed. Somebody like OG Lucifer is very fast with her passive ability and doesn't need Nightshade. So you would put Chaos on her to make her do more damage. But generally speaking, Nightshade is the better 4-piece set than Chaos, but Chaos is still a very good set. Better than Slayer, in my opinion, if you can afford to go with the 4-piece. Speaking of Slayer, this set is one of the more niche ones to me. Generally speaking, I only put Slayer on characters that can buff their own crit rate, like OG Lucifer, Belial, Christmas Satan, characters that want the crit damage more than the crit rate, because like I said, they have enough crit rate on their own. And then right after that, I would put Defender. So there's not a lot of characters that scale their damage off of defense, and they would definitely want this set. But Endearment and HP is just the better defensive stat than Defender, for reasons I've already explained. And the existence of the Bull set, or the Endearment set, kind of overshadows the viability of Descender as a defensive set. You can also put this on like your tanks, like your bait, basically, like characters you want to get hit. You can kind of mess around with your HP values to trick opponent's AI into attacking a certain character, and you would put the Defender set on that character to kind of reduce the damage they take while also baiting certain attacks. Characters like Chocolate Astaroth appreciate having the Defender set because they want to get hit to trigger some of their mechanics. There's an alternate version of Sariel that when she gets hit, she heals your team. So she would appreciate something like this as well. And Pangea also has a mechanic similar to that, so that would be a viable set on her. But for most characters, for defensive utility, you would put Endearment, and that's why I rate Defender so low. And then the most absolute garbage pieces, garbage sets, like literally worthless, except maybe on legitimately 2 characters, would be Mystery and Devotee. So the reason for that, Mystery, its set bonus is Effect Hit. So Effect Hit only works on attacks that are random chance, but not fixed chance, right? So if you go look at a character, let's go do that real quick. So if you go take a look at a character like OG Nona, you can look at her kit, and right here it says there's a 15% chance to stun the target. This is a attack or ability that would be boosted by Effect Hit, but most Sins, Virtues, and Riders don't have that wording. I think somebody like OG Raphael has it in here as well. Yeah, with Power Attack Seal, 15% chance. But those are pretty much the only 2 characters that are viable in PvP that would appreciate that set. If you looked at OG Leviathan here, So her stuff is fixed chance. You see this right here, 50% fixed chance. And then right here, I think she also has it again. Inflicts freeze. Oh, this one is just based off of attack. So a lot of higher level characters like Sins, Virtues, and Riders have either guaranteed status affliction or affliction that targets specific enemies, or fixed chance afflictions, all of which effect hit or what was that? Set mystery has no effect on. So on 99% of the cast, this is a dead set. It is a dead stat. It's absolutely terrible. And Devotee is basically the other side of the coin to effect hit. Effect resistance only works against status conditions and attacks that inflict status that are not guaranteed and are not fixed chance, I believe. I could be wrong about that part, but it doesn't work against guaranteed, like a guaranteed freeze, for example. Let's say you're going up against, Winter Lucy, how she opens up freeze on characters with her passive ability. If you had 100% resistance, you would not resist that. You would still get frozen. Effect resist is absolute garbage because it only works against things that can be affected by effect hit. It's very confusing. I hope you understood that. But trust me when I say Mystery and Devotee are absolute trash. Alright, and hopefully that sums up pretty much everything I wanted to say about Starshards. Just remember the sets, remember the slots, remember to try to get good main stats, because the main stats will vary. Focus on getting good main stats first. Try to get at least like 4-star LR and UR. But don't be afraid to use like the R and like the rare, I guess, ones. Right, so my Leviathan, I'm actually using 2 rare Starshards just because I got decent speed rolls on them. Like 14% is not terrible, 15% speed, not terrible, but most importantly, that attack percent is like the biggest thing. Like even if they're just rare Starshards, don't toss them if they have the stat you're looking for. Like focus on the main stat and then build it up from there. All right, and I think that's everything I wanted to cover. Hopefully I covered all the information you guys were looking for. If I missed something, if you have more questions, please comment in the comment section below, or come hang out on the Discord. There's always tons of people helping everybody out over there. I see like 1,000 questions a day, and we have, you know, a bunch of helpers helping everybody out. So I think that's it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.